and I could be wrong, and I wish Kerry Silkin was here in studio because he would probably tell me if I was wrong or not. But I think the last time that a championship was defended in Madison Square Garden that wasn't a championship with the WWE was back in 1980 when Harley Race defended his NWA championship. So think about that. You talk about that's 1980.
I wasn't even born yet.
That makes me feel really old, man. That makes me feel really old. But quite honestly, because think about it, Jay.
Yeah.
People call Madison Square Garden the Mecca of pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
WWE has had a stranglehold on this building for decades and decades. The last time a championship was defended back in 1980, and you're going to defend that Ring of Honor championship on Saturday.
It's wild when you put it that way. On the way here, I took the train. I saw there's a big billboard type thing on Madison Square Garden with my face on it. And I never thought just to see a picture would be one of the highlights of my life. But it is. I mean, my face is on the billboard at Madison Square Garden. This is unreal. What a time to be a professional wrestler and a professional wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. It's unreal. It's unreal. And then when you think about Madison Square Garden, which is the most famous arena in the world, right? I was talking to my buddy the other day. Every athlete who is on the top of their game, every athlete at the top of their sport has performed in Madison Square Garden. And now I'm about to get to do it. It's wild when you think about it like that.
Jay, I'm sure you're proud of yourself for this accomplishment.
Yes, I am.
But can you speak to how you feel about Ring of Honor as a company being able to pull off a show like this?
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding, as I say. It's a sold-out show. I mean, I can't take anything away from what other companies have done in the building. And it's not like I'm trying to avoid saying the WWE's name. You know, they've had a stranglehold on it. And the fact that we were able to get in there and then on top of that, sell it out, it really speaks volumes to what Ring of Honor is producing, some of the best wrestling in the world. And also we got this joint venture with New Japan, so it makes it a little easier. Fans can get to see some dream matches that they never thought possible. But yeah, to sell out the Garden without advertising any matches, you've got to be producing something that people want to see. And there's no greater way to put it. The proof's in the pudding, you know?
Right before you came on, me and Dave were talking about which match should go on last. I look at this evening as a co-main event. I believe that Okada and Jay White and your Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship title defense against Marty and Taven, both main events. Is there a position that you'd rather be in? Would you rather go on very last, or would you rather go on second to last?
Well, here's the thing about that. I believe that every professional wrestler, deep down inside, you want to be the world champion in the main event spot. So yeah, there's a big part of me that wants to be that world champion in the main event spot. But then my favorite wrestler, one of them, the Macho Man Randy Savage, had one of the best matches I've ever seen, Ricky Steamboat. They weren't the main event.
True.
And to me, there's something about going out there not as the main event, and when you come in the locker room thinking, yeah, follow that, guys. You know what I mean? So it's more of a personal thing to me. It makes me dig down deeper when I'm not in that last spot. So I think, Bully, what you're asking is which one do I prefer? Man, selfishly, deep down inside, I want to say I want to main event the Garden.
Okay, so you'd rather have the gun put to your head than somebody, and then you putting it to somebody else.
Correct.
Fair enough.
And I like what you just said because Jay, you're a local guy, you're a Jersey guy just like me. So the Garden really does mean something.
It does.
And you've been a professional wrestler for some time at a high level. Mm-hmm. So I just want you to explain to our fans, local guy from Jersey, Madison Square Garden, sold out crowd. Now, from what you just said, the main event match, the last match of the show. I mean, think about this. You're a guy who's wrestled at the Hammerstein many, many times. You turn to your right as you're entering that building. You see Madison Square Garden.
Well, even before that, LaGreca, my very first wrestling match was in what is now a liquor store. But it was this rundown bodega in Bayonne, New Jersey. I think that's where you need to start. Like,
okay,
it comes.
Well, I'm just saying that you've actually seen the physical Madison Square Garden many times when on days that you have wrestled. And you're right, you go back to Bayonne, New Jersey. I think my first marriage, I think I got married in that liquor store in Bayonne, New Jersey. Yeah, in the back room. Had to though, things happen. But seriously, you're right. This is full circle. Mm-hmm. So for you, again, I'm sure there's been times that you never would have imagined in your wildest dreams, headlining, main event, as champion, Madison Square Garden, sold out.
Never.
Talk about
never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined. And talk about that bodega in Bayonne, New Jersey. The locker room wasn't even a locker room. We got dressed in the corner of the building, and they just put a black tarp and drape. Wow. Yeah, I know. So, like, to come from there, I mean, I couldn't have written this story any better. Not many people, I don't think many people know this, but to get into the wrestling business, I won a contest. I won a contest because Tough Enough was big on television at the time, and this Jersey All Pro Wrestling company, where I started, they had a contest. They loved it. Tough Enough. We don't have the money. We can't put you up in a house, but we'll do a one-day contest. And I won a frickin' contest and got trained to be a professional wrestler for free. This is the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is my favorite story, by the way, but this is like it's that come true. I won the golden ticket. And now I'm about to wrestle in the most famous arena in the world. See, to me, you said, oh, you walked past that building so many times, and did you ever think you'd be wrestling in it? I can't think of it that way because I got to look back at where I started, and it's wild. I couldn't have written this. No one could have written this story even any better than the way it's been planning out. And for that reason, that weighs heavily on me, the fact that when he asked me, I would rather be in the main event because of that crazy road that I've come up, that Bayonne, New Jersey.
Well, let me quickly ask you this. When it comes to Saturday and you're in that ring just before this match starts, are you going to take a second to take it in? I know it's a difficult question because I know there's a lot of quarterbacks when it comes to the Super Bowl. They don't think about that moment till once their career is done. Are you going to be able to have that moment in the middle of that ring before that bell rings to take in everything that's going on?
Honestly, I don't think so. And I got to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome, and I hardly remember it because when it comes to me, I'm just tunnel vision focused. I want to leave nothing to chance. I want to leave it all in the ring. I don't want to walk away with even one person saying, even though that's impossible to do. You can't please everybody, but I'm so laser focused on trying to get everybody to enjoy what's happening in the ring that I really don't get a chance to take it in. Once I've stopped wrestling, like you said, the football story, once I'm in a rocking chair on my porch, then I'll really get to reflect on everything that I've gotten to do, and then my brain will explode, and that'll be the end of me.
Dave, I think it's really interesting to hear Jay say that he doesn't remember his Tokyo Dome match. Remember last week I was talking to you about that rush and that adrenaline shot that comes over you when you go through the curtain?
Yep.
That you're so, like Jay said, laser focused that it's hard to remember this stuff. And if guys do want to remember it, they got to take that time at the top of the ramp to smell the roses. Jay, my question for you is this. You're the world heavyweight champion. Obviously, Marty Scurll had a shot at the championship in his back pocket. Matt Taven just went an hour with you, which was incredible in Las Vegas. You could have probably taken the easy way out and just had a three-way match. Why did you decide to make this a ladder match?
Well, it needed to be special. And then I heard whispers. we were approaching the 25th anniversary of the ladder match in Madison Square Garden, and it seemed to be a great idea. And it was just I think this show is too big for just a regular triple threat match. It needed something extra, and that was something that I thought would have helped it being a ladder match. But yeah, Bully, I had heard whispers about the 25th anniversary of the ladder match in the Garden, and I said, yeah, sounds good to me.
Does that 25th anniversary of the ladder match motivate you even more?
It terrifies me even more. Yeah. I gotta say, a lot of times when I go to the ring, there's a lot of nerves on my part. I'm very nervous because I just want to, especially at Ring of Honor, they've got this history of delivering these matches that people call legendary matches, and I just want to, especially as the world champion, be leading the charge and not have Ring of Honor take any kind of dip. I want us to be delivering the same type of matches. I mean, Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, and like I want to be delivering those same types of matches as the Ring of Honor World Champion. So I'm always so nervous as the world champion to make sure that the company stays in this upward trend. So
is there pressure? Not only, and I don't mean to throw extra pressure on you, but you're the champion, sold out Madison Square Garden. That's pressure enough. But now you're bringing up Ring of Honor, what Ring of Honor means to you, and the history of Ring of Honor. This is their biggest moment in company history. Mm-hmm. You're the face of the franchise. You're the champion. When people think of Ring of Honor, they think of Jay Lethal. Does that add extra pressure into this match on Saturday?
No, I don't think so. And you mentioned it's short. Yeah, it's the biggest moment in Ring of Honor's history, right?
Yes.
And man, that sounds awesome.
And you're the champion, and you're the face of the franchise,
right.
And everybody's looking at you, and you're in the main event, and it's sold out.
Right. I think the added pressure comes on when you put on top of that, this is not just the biggest event or time for the company. It's a big moment for wrestling in general. That's what makes me nervous, because all eyes are on this event. This is history in the making. This is, oh, gee, just thinking about it. Look, see that? I wish we could get a camera on my arms. Goosebumps right now. That's what's making me nervous.
I'll say this, Jay. You know, everyone calls Madison Square Garden the Mecca of pro wrestling. I have to be honest with you. I've never looked at Madison Square Garden that way. Just because it's been the same company running that building for decades. Because I look at other buildings and there's more traditional wrestling outside of the WWE. After Saturday, or come Saturday, I can now say that Madison Square Garden is the greatest arena when it comes to pro wrestling because of what we're going to see, because of the history that we're going to see Saturday night, because Ring of Honor and New Japan are going to be in that building. And because of that, for me as a 35-year fan of pro wrestling, I can say, you know what? Now Madison Square Garden is truly the Mecca of pro wrestling.
Well, I'm going to try and help you in every way that I can by leaving every part of my soul in the ring to help you make a true statement like that.
Jay, you think you're going to sleep the night before?
Hell, I haven't slept in the last 2-3 days. Oh, man. I mean, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. The coolest part is I get to hang out with my buddy Kerry Silken, who used to own Ring of Honor, and I can only think about how excited and happy he is to see something like that. I mean, this company would have been gone a long time ago if it weren't for him. And he got to see his baby grow up, and it's graduating, and like he's got to be so excited, and I get to hang out with him.
Let me ask you a quick question, and you mentioned Kerry Silken. What would he rather do on Saturday? Watch you defend that Ring of Honor championship, or go see Jethro Tull? Just wondering.
Well, I tell you, it depends on the songs that Jethro Tull's playing.
The set list? Okay, yes. All right, okay. I understand.
He loves Jethro Tull. He said, there's no way he'd miss this. There's no way he would miss Ring of Honor in the Garden.
Jay, one last one from me. What are you guys laughing at me for? Or Jethro Tull?
Yeah.
I know you're going to be in a zone that entire day, that entire night, but is there one other match on this show that you're going to want to take a peek at, or that you're really interested in seeing the outcome?
Well, and I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, okay? The realist part of professional wrestling is the healthy spirit of competition. That's what drives every wrestler. If you think a wrestler is going to the ring and not trying to outdo any of the matches that came before him or after him, you're dead wrong. Okay, it's the realist part of professional wrestling. So I'd be lying if I didn't say the match that I'm really laser focused on is the other match that could potentially be the main event. The other headlining match, which is Jay White and Okada. Not that I'm comparing myself to anybody on the roster, but I am trying to outdo every. Oh, I can't curse, but I'm trying to outdo every match on the card. And it's the other featured headlining match, the other match that could possibly be the main event. So, Bully, that's definitely the match that I got my eye on.
So then let me ask you this. I know you have confidence in yourself, because I can go into putting you over for an entire show, but I know you have confidence in yourself. I know what you can do out there. You know how good Okada is. You know how good Jay White is. Do you have confidence in your opponents that you guys can outdo the other guys?
I do, and here's why. I get to travel the world with Matt Taven and Marty Scurll, and he'll probably get on me for mispronouncing his name. It's Skrull. But I get to travel the world with them, and I know on a personal level they would do anything to prove to the world that they're one of the best wrestlers out there. And this is their moment, along with myself. So I couldn't think of better opponents to share the ring with. I mean, the fans don't really get to see what I see, but I know for a fact that those two have a burning desire to show the world, if given the chance, that they can outdo anybody in the world. And that's why I couldn't think of two better people to be in the ring with.